You are now tuned into Sparring Minds with my man Charlie Hustle, Chef Main Topic, Mr. Mirror Time, Sammy. Can't forget Hightower, aka Hightower. And on the ones and twos, your boy Dr. Rock and Face Off DJ Payne. We got sports, current events, social issues, main topics, mirror time, and much, much more. Let's get it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Trying to get a little bit better for the people listening. Sparring Minds, what's really good? This is your boys. We're back again. Sparring Minds. Charlie Hustle, a.k.a. Hot Tub Tony, a.k.a. Billionaire Bob, a.k.a. Red Glass Roger, a.k.a. Mr. Two Jump. Come on, man. Here, I'm ready to get rocking. What's going on?
Hightower here, man, a.k.a. No Sweat, a.k.a. Pellegrino Poppy. We here, man. We here. I'm glad to be back. What's up?
Hello, this is Sam Little, Mr. Little. And we'll just leave it at that. No more AK.
You already know, man. Over in the smoking section, it's the chef. Main topic. Let's get it.
Fellas, man. Fellas, this is another one of our Wednesday episodes for the people. So we appreciate y'all tuning in for another episode, rocking out with us. We're climbing up near the 60 mark at this point. So the movement's been incredible. And obviously now we're backing up the podcast with the merch. Hightower's been doing an incredible job getting that stuff out for you guys who ordered on the first wave. We can't express how much we appreciate that. And the shirts feel nice, bro. Quality's, like I said, quality is what we wanted, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Quality,
yeah, man.
baby. You did.
Yeah.
So shout out to the homies from Ville side. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Salute.
Support those brothers. You know what I'm saying? Good guys. They got everything you need there. You know what I mean? So shout out to the homies. Shout out to Ville side. You dig?
Absolutely. They blessed us. So, we could be more appreciative. What's going on? Let's get caught up from last weekend. What happened last week? Anything to go over?
Nothing too crazy.
I mean, we got to talk about the NFL a little bit, right? Like, I mean, the rash of injuries that happened in the NFL was beyond bananas. You saw superstar players going down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. McCaffrey went down yesterday,
man. Yeah, I have McCaffrey on my team, man, and we got to see what we can do this week. I mean, my team's pretty deep, so I mean, I can go without for a couple of weeks. I'm the draft king. Never mind what that app says, man. I'm the real draft king here. 2-0, baby.
Yo, Maine, like to you, what was the biggest injury from this last weekend?
Oh, Barkley, no question.
Oh,
Saquon, man, that's huge. You know what I mean? I sat fantasy out this year. I didn't really do fantasy. I think I was just worried about everything going on with COVID and stuff like that. And I feel like the injuries, because there was no training camp, because there was a lot of things, and guys are just rushing back into football. These are the things to expect right now going on. So, not really surprised. Like I said, just wanted to. Take the year off with fantasy, man, because I didn't feel good about it. So,
that makes sense.
Sucks with the injuries, though. It's super weird looking in the NFL crowd and seeing that shit.
Yo, the new stadiums, it's just crazy. Brand new stadiums, you ain't got no play in there. Yeah.
Out in Vegas, that's my home team. Obviously my squad out in Vegas. Sammy, what's your number one injury takeaway from the start of this season? Like, what's the biggest one to you?
It would have to be Saquon. Would have to be Saquon. Yeah, I mean, that's all you turn on TV to watch the Giants for, anyways.
Who turns on the TV to watch the Giants though? Like that's
the thing.
Just to see Saquon. That's it. That's it.
D&D, do not draft.
Yeah. Word up.
Yeah.
And so Hightower, you said McCaffrey's still your number one injury from the early season here?
Yeah, and I mean, if we're looking at the big picture, I mean, Saquon's gone for the year, so that's gonna trump whatever I'm dealing with. But McCaffrey's gone for 4 to 6 weeks. You know, if he makes it back, great. If he doesn't, you know, take care of your health. But like I said, man, I'm in prime position, man. I'll recap this in the finals. Let y'all know how I do.
Oh please, nigga, first round exit.
We're trying to go back to back, baby.
I think for me, like,
you won your league last year, right?
Yes, sir.
Hightower was in like a big money league too. Like,
yes, sir.
Them niggas buy Bentleys with the winning was all like, like, fuck out here. I'm playing for like $5, nigga. Like, I think for me the biggest injury was Michael Thomas. Like, you know, you had to spend a fourth or fifth pick in the first round to get Michael Thomas. You know what I mean? And in the years past, he's been a lock for 100-something grabs. You know what I mean? He's just been that dude for so consistently long. And you know, not only did you miss out on one of the stud running backs.
Yep.
Now you went and traded him and got nothing for it. So you're one of those teams that's starting James White and, you know, like some dude out in like Philly, one of them running backs. So
but how long is Thomas out for though? It's not season, right? It was what, 4 to 6?
3 weeks from what I saw.
Yeah, high ankle sprain.
Yeah, I mean, and high ankle sprains will, you know, they'll run you the distance if you let them. You know what I mean? If you don't take care of them early. So, salute to those guys who are injured, man. We never want to see injuries happen.
Yeah.
On the NBA front, y'all, I'm sure y'all tuned into the buzzer beater that was hit by my leg show, Anthony Davis.
No, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't, nigga. Don't worry about it. Great show, baby.
Yo,
that was a great pass by Rondo.
Salute to Rondo for the pass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Salute to Rondo for the pass.
Rondo's in his bag this postseason, man. You got to give it to him.
Yes, he is.
Playoff Rondo.
My question is this, Sammy. I'll start with you on it.
Good.
Does Denver have to win Game 3?
They do. They don't win Game 3, you might as well. I mean, they're not coming back on the Lakers like they did the last 2 series. There's no way. It's not going to happen. LeBron's not going to have it. I think that Laker team is just, I mean, they got some scrubs on there, but they're vets. You know, it's just not going to happen. So Denver, they definitely does have to win that.
Hightower, Game 3 a must win for Denver?
I want to say Game 3 they're going to win. They got a taste of what it takes to beat the Lakers, and they lost on a buzzer beater. That's got to help their confidence a little bit. They're going to come out with a little more edge Game 3. So it's a must win, and I think they'll go ahead and win it. It's essentially a home game for them anyway. So,
Mano, Game 3, Denver must win.
Definitely, absolutely. For all the 2 reasons my brothers just said, the Lakers are not the Clippers or
Utah.
Utah. You know what I mean? So that will be big, but definitely the Nuggets are more confident than before. You know, just like I said, getting a taste of that win. So that should be really interesting.
There's a chess match that I like watching this series between Dwight Howard and Jokic. And if you've been watching like just the intricacies of the game, it's like they're both trying to do things to get underneath the other one's skin, and then like there's a lot of stuff going on that takes me back to the '90s. You know what I mean? Like little elbows here, just little extra that I'm like, okay, I like this matchup. And the refs, God help them, they're calling it super tight. You know what I mean? And so it leads to a little bit of the frustration. But I like this series. I think we're not going to sweep them, obviously. I think Denver is in must-win mode here in Game 3. I think if you don't, there's no more miracle stories for that coming in. And not only that, you know, those miracle stories were happening because Jamal Murray was super hot. He's no longer super hot. You know what I mean? I think when you had a player who's averaging 40-something in the first, you know, round or two, you know, you need that to continue if you're going to try to come back from down 3-1. So I don't see that. I don't even see them winning Game 3. So I think this one's over. So obviously we'll stay true to that. I mean, you guys are happy about the Boston dub. What are you learning from that series? Anything like any takeaways from there?
So Celtics should be up 3-0.
3-0. Gordon Hayward.
Not even Gordon. Like just the way they're crumbling. They're not closing out games. Yeah. They've been in control. You know, there was a stat that said they've been in, you know, 80% of the minutes played. They've been, you know, in control of the game, and they lose that last 20 minutes or so. and that's collective over the first 3 games. You know what I mean? So it's got to be frustrating from the Boston locker room that they're in the situation they're in, because they should easily be up 3-0, 2-1 at the least. But
so can we just like consider the fact that you're speaking from a homer standpoint? Can we consider that at least? Can we just pretend that's part of what's happening right now?
No, we're speaking for someone who actually watched the game and watched the Celtics give up, turn the ball over. That's not has nothing to do with being a homer.
So
every team in the NBA turns the ball over, bro.
Yeah, but it comes with experience.
My quick takeaway is that the first 2 games, the Celtics were being like punked. You know what I mean? I felt like Miami was the more physical team, and definitely having Hayward back helps out for the simple fact that you don't have to worry about bringing Semi Ojeleye in off the bench, and he can only go and stand over in the corner on defense versus Hayward, who can actually break down a defense and make a pass and get inside the paint. You know
exactly.
What I mean? So even being up in those 2 games, it's a game. Basketball is a game of runs. You know what I'm saying? So, but Miami's tough. Miami's a good team.
They're no slouch. They're no slouch.
I'm a diehard Celtics, but if the Miami Heat like beat them, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's a travesty. They beat the Bucks. Like Miami's for real, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a good series. Both series should be at least no sweeps. Should definitely be. I think the Celtics should go maybe 7 games, and I think the Lakers series might go 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, I can see 6.
We'll see.
So that's a good takeaway from the weekend. Let me tell y'all real quick about what's happening during my weekend, about some things I was tuned into real quick. So I know we talked about the power the last time we was on. And I missed Sunday's episode, so don't hit me yet. Yeah, I'm gonna jump on it tonight. So when we get off, we'll go jump on it. But that's been incredible, and we got to get you up to date on that. It's been an incredible watch.
No, you don't.
He's horrible.
How was my insecure, brother?
Really?
No, I'm just.
Oh, I was about to say, no, we didn't have a conversation about that shit. The one thing I was watching obviously hits close to home because it's a local situation, but I guess it's a series or a website or some kind of video thing called American Dope Life, right? And they were featuring Boston, and they were talking to Ray Benzino, right? And Benzino was just talking about some stories about his days growing up in the hood, Roxbury. I think he said Academy Homes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's from Academy.
Some of the work that he was moving, and he was. But here's what stuck out to me and why I wanted to bring it to you. Huh?
I never heard he was from Academies, but okay, go ahead.
I thought it was Academy Homes. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I thought he was from Academies. I thought he was.
Yeah, he mentioned it, and I'll go back and check it out. But the point of me bringing it to y'all was that he was doing a lot of talking about what he used to do and who he used to do it with, right?
Okay.
And later in today's show, I have another situation I'm going to bring up to y'all about dudes talking in the game, right? And so what's your thoughts? I'm going to start with you, Sammy. What's your thoughts on Benzino or anybody in the game back in those days talking about it now, and not only talking about it now, but singing a lot of names from back when they was involved in those kind of activities?
I don't know Ray that well. I know Antonio a little bit more than, and whatnot. We have family together, but I don't know. I mean, he's not in the game anymore. I mean, I don't see it being a good thing, especially for the guys that are still out here, because he didn't bring everybody with him. I don't know.
Let me say this real quick before I jump to Ant. Is that he was talking about how he was talking about a lot about just their processes, a lot of their, okay, well, this is where we put the work, this is where we did this is where the money exchanges were. There's a lot of a little intricate stuff that kind of makes me feel. I bring this up because last episode we was talking about snitching and such, and that kind of stuff. We was talking about that recently, and that's why it's coming back up. And I just kind of feel like this is dry snitching if nothing less. Like, he's talking about things that the cops probably didn't even know. And now you're talking about this in an interview. It just didn't sit well with me. Knowing that I have family and, friends who used to be involved in that. And if this guy's like this out here, just saying names off the top of their head, it's like, I don't understand what part of the code that is. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like it's a little bit different to me.
If he's giving names, that's probably the line you're crossing that you don't need to be crossing. I mean, you can give details and you can give you can allude to certain things. I mean, there's people who do this in their songs or whatever. But once you start giving names and specific details about what certain names were doing,
right,
that kind of changes the conversation a little bit.
Yeah. And that's exactly what he was doing. And Maine, let me just wrap this up with you. One of the other things he did was he was throwing out like his relationship with the Jamaican Shower Posse and how he was just like really offering a lot of information to, and actually the interview was being conducted by a former Italian mobster. And I guess what they were doing was they was kind of sharing tales of yesterday, right? So I guess my question to you, Maine, before I wrap this up is that kind of thing considered villainous now? Or we're like, nah, he's out the game, like it don't matter, like, the players have changed.
I didn't hear it, so you know what I mean? But just based on, did he put names out there? Did he say like specific names? He did?
Yeah. Okay. Now, the caveat could be that person could be dead. I don't know. I didn't dig that too deep into it to find out.
Okay.
And so if someone's dead, whatever, then at that point, right?
Right. It's nothing different than rap lyrics that we've heard before. Prodigy did a book in which he said something, 50 made ghetto cron. Like this type of stuff has kind of gone on before. Like, so I don't really see that as like a big deal. Like, unless you put someone in, unless those interviews are going to get someone indicted or
but can't they though? Can't they?
I'm not sure, depending on how long these crimes were done. Like, what's the statute of limitations? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, so now a question though, would he be a civilian though? Is he a civilian now? He's a rapper. That's something that he did in the past. Would he be considered a civilian or?
I don't think so. At least from my perspective. Once you was involved in that game, once you garnered that information, you're part of that. You see what I'm saying? You can't just say all of a sudden, "Oh, I'm a civilian now." Like, nah, that's not how this works.
But he never brought up any crimes besides the fact that he, the process of doing certain things.
Right. It was an interesting watch for me. That's how I wanted to bring it up to you. I know we had just spoken about it the other day in terms of just snitching and that kind of thing, and this kind of carried over. So I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Another thing that I watched this weekend, which was absolutely the best movie I saw this year, and it was Antebellum, featuring Janelle Monáe. Now, when I was watching the movie, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know Janelle Monáe from A Hole in the Wall. Like Fabian, my wife, was like, "Oh, Janelle, da 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 da." I didn't know who she was. She did a great job. Have y'all seen this movie first off?
No.
Okay. I'm going to hold this. Y'all go watch that, bro. If you don't listen to nothing else I ever say, go watch this movie. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. But it's absolutely not what you expect it to be. You know what I mean? The first few minutes is slave joint. You're going to be mad. You're going to be upset. Just watch it. It's absolutely a classic movie.
They were talking about it like a week ago on the Breakfast Club. They were talking about that, and I seen it come up across the prime, and I was like, damn, I like Janelle Monáe. She's all right. Okay, all right. I needed someone to co-sign it for me, so good looking hustle. I'm really gonna trust, you know what I'm saying, your judgment.
It gets shaky sometimes with Charles.
Me, and I'm gonna think that as my brother, you're not gonna let me down. You will never lead me into wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, this is the one. This is the one. So make sure we check that out.
Okay.
What's it on Netflix?
Hold on one second.
La Bamba.
Red light stop. Green light, go. Red light, stop. Green light, go. Red, stop. Green, go. Red light, green light, now you know.
So, if you've tuned into Sparring Minds at any length of time,
What was that?
right? You know that we often freestyle things on the show. It's one of the things that we do, and it keeps it a little fresh. It keeps it interesting around here. And so, what we're going to debut today is a segment called. What the fuck is? We're going to introduce a segment today called Red Light, Green Light, right? And so, with the red light, green light, as you can see the thing flashing on the screen, right? You can see that. With red light, green light, we have so many different pieces of content that our group discusses behind the scenes. And a lot of stuff just doesn't make it to the show. Like a lot of stuff we're like, oh, we'll save that for a couple of weeks down the line. So what I'm going to do today with the fellas, because of course they had no idea what was going to happen right now, I am going to present them with certain stories and then give them the red light, green light. Either we could talk about it or we don't talk about it. Like that's how we're going to play with this, right? So I think the fairest way for me to do this is go around the room. If you got a comment about it, you can say green light, give me a little spiel, and we can go from there. If you say red light, that means you can care less, and we can move past the story. How that sound?
Let's get it.
All right, let's work. So the first story we have here. Let's start here. So what we're talking about right now is the homie Michael J. White. Now, Michael J. White was interviewed by the infamous, in Maine, you know how I feel about Vlad TV. Oh. Interviewed by Vlad TV, and they were asking him about the upcoming Mike Tyson biop being manned by Jamie Foxx, right? And Michael J. White went on to say that the project's not going to be as good as what I did in 1995. Emmy, is this worth the conversation? Red light, yes. Green light, yes. Red light.
You said Sammy, right? You did say Sammy, right?
Yeah.
Let's get into the conversation.
Light, go. So let's talk about it. In 1995, Michael J. White, obviously the MMA guy, the fighter, this big, he's big on that kind of action film, right? He did the Mike Tyson biop, and that was featuring Malcolm Jamal Warner. And so they did that movie, and it got a 6.3 on the IMDb scale, right? Out of 10. That's trash. It got a 34% Rotten Tomatoes score. That's trash, right? So Sammy, how can
I want to get into this?
Say that it's not going to be better when the one you did was trash to begin with?
Well, first and foremost, I don't even remember Michael J. White doing the film. I don't remember, so it had to have been trash. Second of all, he's not a better actor than Jamie Foxx. Nowhere near. No. And I think he's just talking just to be relevant again. Other than that,
Mano, red light, green light. You got an opinion on this, or you're like, get Michael the fuck out of here? What's your thoughts on it?
Yo, first of all, let's get Vlad TV the fuck out of here. And then let's get Michael the fuck out of here. And yeah, I can't wait to see Jamie's performance because they say it's going to rival Ray, which we all know was legendary.
Yeah.
So get Michael the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Hightower, red light, green light, brother.
Red light. Get this clown out of here, man.
He's usually compassionate.
Let me give you something on the sports front. How about we do that? So red light, green light on this story here. Michael Jordan has partnered with, let me get the guy's name right, Denny Hamlin and the NASCAR unit to purchase a NASCAR team, and their driver is going to be Bubba Willis, right? Red light, green light, Hightowers. Something to discuss?
Red light. I'm not a fan of NASCAR, man.
Okay. Mano, red light, green light. You want to discuss this or not?
Nah, red light. I know enough. Salute to MJ for getting the team,
Sure.
The NASCAR team and the basketball team. He's dope.
That's it.
So,
That's it.
I'm good.
Sammy, red light, green light. How you feeling about this story?
I'm gonna red light it. Not a NASCAR guy.
Perfect. Let's move on to another story. And see, this goes back to what we was just talking about. You know, this shit right here. Rapper Bobby Shmurda, his parole was denied. He's staying till at least December 2021. You know, red light, green light. Something to discuss?
No, because I kind of heard something about this story earlier. And you know, he was in there doing some other crazy stuff too, in which got his parole denied. So it just wasn't. But salute to Bobby Shmurda for being a stand-up guy, because he took the amount of numbers that is mandatory. He said something, I'll take the amount of numbers that my guy will. You know, something that he could have got out earlier, but he made his stay long enough where him and his, I think it was Rowdy, whatever the case, could get out at the same time. So shout out to Bobby Shmurda for being a stand-up guy. But yeah, I don't need a green light this. Nope, red light.
Red light, green light.
Red light special. Nothing to talk about.
Sammy, red light, green light, brother. How you feeling?
Red light. Red light, family.
Okay. Let me move on. I got two more of these. And this one's interesting up in Buffalo. So one of the Sparring Minds' favorite rappers, Benny the Butcher, has been told by the Buffalo Police Department that his clothing line, BSF, which stands for Black Soprano Family, is considered gang related. Now, in this, what's happened up in Buffalo is that people are being pulled off the street by wearing these T-shirts and paraphernalia, hats, whatever they might be wearing. And so it's bringing down, it's affecting the brand. So Hightower, red light, green light on Benny the Butcher situation up in Buffalo.
This is the first I'm hearing about this, man. I think we need to green light this one.
Yeah. Definitely. Let me give you some additional details. So Benny, well, here's what I know for sure. I've never heard of, and you guys can quote me if I'm wrong, I've never heard of gang-affiliated clothing lines, right? Now, if you guys have heard of that, let me know. The second point I have on this is that, well, I've never heard of gang-related clothing lines. I have heard of Crip Soda. I have heard of
Cola.
A soda brand, a cola brand out on the West Coast.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
actually, ATL is where
it's
ATL. I thought it was on the West Coast.
ATL.
It's in Long Beach as well, no?
It may have made its way over there, but
it might have, about to say it might have expanded there. But Killer Mike started that with the Crips in Atlanta.
I had no idea.
With the Crip, and the Bloods actually have a soda as well.
Yep, they got one too.
It's crazy. They both have.
Let me give you one more thing, Hightower, before we kick this one off. Okay? I want y'all to stay tuned. Keep your ears open for me. Ready?
Yeah.
Go to TV Johnny and ice out the grave. I make these bitches sign contracts and write out their name shit. I learned from how I need a trick Mike out of things. My ex shit, I still ain't get the lights out of name. The fans want the whole BSF wiped out the game. Cause what the brand cost, I've been getting twice out in names.
The feds want the whole BCF out the game because what the gram costs, I've been getting twice out in Maine. All right, Hightower, you wanted to talk about it. Let's do it.
I mean, people can jump to conclusions all they want, man. It's just another stream of income for the brother. Let him live.
Sammy, you good with this?
No, I'm gonna red light it. I don't know. I don't know enough about the whole everything.
Okay. Main thoughts.
I mean, Benny's just mean with those bars.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah.
Boy, Benny's mean with those. Yo.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
It's just wordplay. That's just wordplay. That's just lyrics. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like those are just bars. That's entertainment. You know what I mean? Like he's good with his wordplay. That's all I see with that right there. No different than anyone else.
We came from an era where, well, you couldn't talk it if you wasn't living it. That's the era that we came from, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you was talking about moving weight, it's most likely because you was out there moving weight and you just kind of graduated from that, right? some of the best rappers that we've ever talked about were out there doing that kind of work. Right? And so while I don't agree with the police department highlighting Benny's clothing line in this particular way, sometimes you can bring that spotlight to yourself. Sometimes. And I think what Benny's done, because remember, we grew up with Hip Hop Police, right? And Hip Hop Police sat, listened to albums, listened to bars, and used that shit against you in court, right? Like that's what they did. And so I don't know how much different this is for Benny in the BSF closing line. So is it shame on Benny? Maybe. But that's part of that's part of his content, right? Like it's part of what got him to where he is today. So we should have the freedom to talk about that. I just don't know how. You can't expect the cops to overlook it. That's all. Y'all would agree with that? I mean, you heard the verse.
I think when it comes to situations like this, whether he did his time or not, folks are gonna just try to find another way to block your blessings, so to speak. I think it's much ado about nothing. They're just trying to find another way to get, block his path or whatever. But, it is what it is. He's not saying and doing anything that no one else ahead of him has said and done in their music before. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to use a reference of like Ho, for instance, like, I'm not sure how many instances where he's run into these situations, but, he's found a way to maintain.
Imagine you walking down the streets of Buffalo, right? And you're home on parole with a BSF T-shirt on, right? And the police snatch you up because you have a T-shirt on. Like that's a violation of parole because it's now gang related. Like you know how like ridiculous this can turn into.
Yeah, but that's not on Benny though.
No, it's not.
Right.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous case to me.
It's foolish.
Yeah, definitely.
But at the same time, I understand the issue in which, Benny has a duty to make an adjustment so that it's not affecting his people. Like if he knows up front that folks are going to be doing this on the backs of, the gear that he's putting out, he might need to reconsider some things, or he needs to just get ahead of it and fight it before it gets too far down the line.
I think that'll happen. I can see that happening before.
You don't think it's a highlight in the gang culture?
No.
You sure? You sure?
Yeah, I can see why you say that, Sammy. Because listen, J&M, that was gangster rap. Like, I get it. They talked about what the gangsters do.
Yeah.
I totally understand it.
I mean, when Bloods and Crips wore their flags, guys were pulling them off the streets.
He said highlighting gang culture. I don't see how that's highlighting gang culture.
Yeah, he's not highlighting. That's the name of his record company.
What you're saying. I don't think that highlights gang culture.
But wasn't there a gang also?
I don't think so.
No.
Not under those names.
No.
This is his record label. This is his Diplomats. This is his Rockefeller. That's all it is.
I have to look back and I have to look into him a little bit more.
It's no different than when Ken was doing Diplomats. No difference. Rough Riders.
No difference.
He's branding himself. Murder Inc.
Yep.
But what you're overlooking is that Dipset, Murder Inc., Rough Riders, like they all had some kind of gang affiliation on some level, whether we want to say and talk about like they did.
Because in Murder Inc.'s case, like obviously the joint with 50 Cent and getting stabbed up. Okay, so that they're doing gangster stuff though too, but they weren't, wearing a clothing line. Their record label just happened to be Murder Inc., the world's most dangerous record label. You know what I mean? That's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? I don't see Brazil saying that. You know what I mean? Like now their bars are heavy into whatever, but you know what I'm saying? I don't see how the clothing line. I don't see it. I mean, maybe I'm being naive. No. I don't see it.
I think there's something to discuss. So I'm glad I brought it here.
Yeah.
Last real quick. We're gonna red light, green light. So Nigeria they instituted a new law where they will a new law against rape, right? So, well, actually, I'll leave it at that, and then if we want to get into it, we'll get into it.
Jesus.
Whoa.
Sammy, yeah, red light, green light on the new law in Nigeria with stronger penalties against rape.
Wait a minute, it said castration.
Red light, green light, brother.
Red light, green light.
Yeah, let's go into it. Let's go into this. This is the first time I heard of this.
Here's the additional details. So this is happening out in the most populated country in Africa, right? And here are the details. If you rape someone under the age of 14, you will be castrated and then face the death penalty, right?
Damn.
If someone is over the age of 14, you just face life in prison. Like those are the penalties here for that. And what they're trying to do is combat the rising tide of rape culture that seems to be developing in Africa. Thoughts, Sammy? Where are we with this? What are you thinking? What's your
Oh man. Shit. Castration and the death penalty.
He's
Huh?
still facing the death penalty. Like it's not
Like, well, what the fuck? You know what? I'm with it. I'm with it. Whatever they, I'm with it. I'm with it. It's not going to affect me because I'm not going over there. I'm not going to do the bullshit. But wow, but there's a problem with that.
Talk to me.
What about innocent people that probably some chick probably said, hey, he raped, probably didn't. There's a problem with that.
My brother, because I don't have an answer for that kind of question. Do you?
That's tough.
I mean,
I might have to rethink.
Yeah, I don't know. Putting that scenario into definitely could change something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I got my dad hat on in this situation, so I'm always gonna say death and all that stuff to people to do that kind of stuff. So yeah, all I can hope is that innocent people won't be caught up into that scenario. But other than that, yeah, I'm not really for rapists and stuff like that. I'm not really with that as a father. So,
Hightower, you okay with the castration of someone accused of rape or of someone under 14?
Nah, I mean, I think the punishment alone of life in prison is more than enough because they'll get handled in prison for the crime that they did on top of being in prison. You see what I mean? So it's kind of excessive. If you're gonna castrate the dude and then take his life, then just take his life. Yeah. I mean, I don't agree with it either way because the situation like Little brought up about wrongly accused, individuals, but like Maine said, innocent people don't usually get caught in those situations, but you always got to worry about that hearsay or the he said, she said issue. So,
and that's the bullshit. That's the bullshit. Yeah. I mean, I think that would happen a lot more in the above 14 age group, where you'd get those kind of false accusations. You get like, some 17-year-old who got yelled at by her parents and then it turned into something else. So, it's a bad way. It's a bad situation either way. It's a bad situation that they're dealing with an increase in rape to begin with, right? That's a bad situation.
Word.
A bad situation that, that you differentiate the law between under 14 and above 14, like it should be the same. So there's a lot of bad going on in that entire situation. So that's red light, green light, fellas. We'll do that as we see fit. But I like being able to kick around a couple different topics. And then we can just choose. Because you guys know before the show, we're like, are we going to talk about it? No, yes, who knows? And things get lost. So we'll do that. Yeah. Anything else coming up before the Ask Chuck? No?
Nothing I can think of, man.
That's cool. I got one more thing that I want to drop real quick before we get into the Ask Chuck. And it's out in Kentucky. And the Louisville Metro Police Department declared a state of emergency before the decision of Breonna Taylor's case to ensure we have an appropriate level of staffing.
That's already said it's going to be some bullshit.
That's how you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Brace ourselves for our city and everything. Because when we find out what's going to happen, they're going to turn this motherfucker upside down. So let's be prepared now.
As they should. As they should.
Yep. Tear it down.
These are amazing times, fellas. These are amazing times. You're going to be sitting on a hill somewhere with a cane and a chair talking to your grandkids and their local neighborhood friends about what's happened in 2020. And they're going to be like, oh, my God, can you tell us more about that year? And these are one of the things they're going to be talking about. Like, this is outrageous. So prayers up to that city because you're going to need every prayer you can get.
Word up.
You know what I mean? So
definitely.
Sparring Mods is behind you. Let's jump into this Ask Chuck, man. Speaking of villains, so and if you haven't tuned into Ask Chuck in the past, right? So we generally get inboxes, emails, text messages, carrier pigeons. However we get these messages, we get them from people who have real life questions and real life scenarios about things they want us to discuss. And generally, it's pretty dramatic. This was like at the top shelf of Ratchet. Like this is up where like Cardi B antics be at. Like this is up in that realm. So, shout to Cardi. I see what you're going through. That's crazy. Who'd have thought? Ask Chuck. Ask Chuck. Me and my now husband, James, let me step in real quick. I have changed the name to protect the innocent because she did not, which tells me more about this chick that I really want to get into right now as well. But let's go back to it. So, Chuck, me and my now husband, James, have been together for 18 years. Our relationship is great. We've had no major problems. Here's the one problem that I have. My son doesn't belong to James. My son is actually a result of an affair I had with his cousin. I was young and realized it was stupid. Okay. I had every intention of keeping this to myself until my son, a freshman in high school, came home with an assignment to track his family tree.
Jesus.
The teacher has given the option for students to get a paid and full DNA test to spearhead the project. The results, of course, could derail my entire family. The question is, do I sit everyone down now before this takes place or wait and see how the results play out? Maine, let's start with you, King. What advice are you giving this young lady here?
Hold on for 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah, take a sip of that, brother.
Oh, shit.
Okay. All right. Wow. You know, man, people just they never surprise you with things. It's best for her to sit everybody down and be a woman about all this and deal with the consequences of which deal with the repercussions that come from whatever happens. That is really bad. Like
really bad. Really bad.
It's like really bad. Like it's just no other way to describe that scenario other than it's just bad. I think like if I was the man in that situation that had to hear that information, Like, you know what I mean? Again, I would need like fucking 5 of these right here. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd be wondering, like, yo, what the fuck did I do to deserve that?
Real shit.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just bad. Like on so many levels, and you know, just sit everybody down and say a prayer. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna need one.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's just no scenario. Again, any man in this circle right here putting himself in that scenario knows that he would go ballistic in that situation and hope that, you know, you wouldn't do anything too crazy. You know what I mean? But that's just wrong on so many levels, man. So yeah, sit it down and talk. Jump out in front of it. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to go long-winded, but yeah.
No, you good, King. That's what we got the show for.
Jump out now and just try to jump in front of it. Because other than that, trouble.
Sammy, where you at with this, bro?
Well, what she needs to do is she needs to go figure out where Tommy is and go hire him to go take out this teacher. That's what she. That's what she needs to do. That way, this project never gets done. Because other than that, she's fucked. For the right price, Tommy would do this.
Hi, Tommy. Where are you with this, brother?
She gotta just take this to the grave, man, and wait for the results.
Jesus.
Take it to the grave.
She got to wait for the results because you said this is homeboy's cousin, right?
This is homeboy's cousin.
There's a chance it might. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, you gotta ride that out, and you know,
riding it out was the problem. That's the problem.
Absolutely, facts. That's what got her into this mess.
She has. I think there's another way out for the. This kid doesn't have to do this project.
Nigga, are you kidding
Get
me?
the fuck out of here.
He's probably like a biology major or something. Like, you know, he probably has to do the class and the assignment.
I don't know. Damn. I'm trying to figure some way of her getting out of this.
I think now listen, I'm no biology, I'm no Bill Nye, right? But I don't know much, I don't pretend to know much about DNA. However, if we have the same DNA, right? If me and my cousin have the same DNA, when he's doing this test, shouldn't it come up close? Or like, I don't know how that works.
It should be very close.
I would just risk that.
I don't know. I don't know. There may be strands, but I don't know how. Maybe like a 70%. It's not going. I don't think it would be that high, to tell you the truth. I mean, because this cousin has a different, you know, I don't know, either mother or father from a different, you know, whatever. So it won't. I mean, there'll be something there, but I don't think it'll be as high as you guys think it is. Nah.
They're from the same tree. Yeah. There's going to be some matching somewhere.
It's a sibling for sure.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
First cousins? Oh, yeah, that match is high.
Can I just say this real quick? This is a spectacular case, though. Like, this bitch made so many errors in this. Like, I've never seen anything like this.
Right. 18 years.
And I know she thought she got away scot-free.
Definitely.
No the cousin thought he got away scot-free.
True. I forgot all about the cousin villainous in this.
Like, we forgot all about him.
But at the same time, peep this. Maybe she was, I mean, she's been with this dude X amount of years. She had the affair X amount of years ago. Around the same time they probably started dating. Or around the same time they got married. In the effect, she could have been seeing them equally anyway. If my math is right?
Well, it says they've been married for 18 years. They've been together for 18 years, but the kid is 15. So, I mean, that 3-year window, whatever, I can see something.
Okay. So that changes things. That takes that narrative all the way out of there. But okay.
I don't have an answer for her that doesn't bring her shame.
Call Tommy.
Take it to the grave, man. Ride out to the results.
Man.
Roll the dice.
That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, that's crazy.
Now, can you imagine raising a kid for 18 years and then finding out after 18 years that this is not your kid?
Well, 15. The kid's only 15.
Oh, okay, 15.
15.
I mean, listen, I can't imagine it, but it happens in real life. You know what I mean?
No, it definitely does.
Because these chicks are scandalous, B, and I've been telling y'all that for a long time out here. And y'all always try to put me on mute, like, nah, Chuck, you can't say that. Fuck out of here. These chicks is villains, B. And so this shit is real life, absolutely. So, I mean, would it surprise me? No. But come on, man. And what's that dude to do? He's already invested time, money, emotions into that 15 years.
Right.
Come on, man. Like in his head, that kid, if he's worth any amount of dude, if he's worth anything, that kid's gonna be his regardless. Now at this point,
yeah,
he's been there. But if that ain't some fucked up shit, not only that, the courts ain't gonna give a fuck. Sorry, sir, you've been hoodwinked. Too bad. You know what I mean? The bitch ain't gonna give a shit no more because she done got you to pay and raise her kid for 15 years. So she ain't gonna give a shit no more. Like every decision you made over the last 15, 16 years would have been vastly different if it wasn't for this lying ass female.
She just destroyed that whole family because even that kid is gonna feel some sort of way.
As he should.
Yeah.
As he should. I wonder what that kind of relationship would look like after that. Like, how do you look at your moms? You know what I mean? After that kind of breaks itself out. Like, do you look at her the same? I can't imagine you would, but I don't know. You know?
I mean, it's still your mom at the end of the day. So I guess it would be hard for me to look at it different. The only scenario that I could see that even think of why she might have thought like this was, did she think that like her current guy would be a better father or like the type of man he was?
Hell no. No, you can't do that.
I'm grasping for straws, fellas. I'm getting that. I'm grasping for straws.
But
I can't save her in this scenario. Like, I want to throw a life jacket.
Look that bitch
I've been trying to throw one, but now.
Look that bitch drown, bro.
Nah.
And because that shit sounds like some shit women will say. Watch, I'm gonna read these. Y'all hit us up in the comments and let us know what you think about this. But I guarantee you, somebody in the comments gonna be like, "Oh, well, you know, he was just a better guy. He had a better job. You know, he was just more." Get the fuck out of here! Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you're right. I can't even. But that would be the only thing that I could think of, and it's still fucked up. But that's the only thing that I could think of that I'd still be like, well, what the fuck made you do that shit for? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Wow.
Terrible, man.
We all agree that's unforgivable. We agree.
Definitely.
There's not no reconciliation like, okay, well, I'll stay because here's what PC ass Ant's about to say. Hold on. Let me get my voice right. Hold on.
I just finished saying you can't forgive her, man. You missed it?
Nah, bullshit. I don't believe you, nigga. Ant was saying something like, well, you know, although there was treason done 15 years ago, everything that's happened since then has been really good. Our relationship is strong. She loves me. I love her. That's some shit your ass would say, nigga.
No, what I would say would be at that moment, my focus is on my son more than it is on my wife, ex-wife, lady, whatever the situation is. I don't want to take that father figure away from him.
Right.
But me and her have to have a conversation.
What's the conversation about? What are you talking
about? There's no conversation.
We got a kid. We got a house, probably most likely. We got to figure out how we move forward, if we move forward.
Oh, she better be lucky I don't call Tommy.
You letting gray area live, dog. There's no gray area here.
No, he's just saying closing and severing the ties. However,
okay. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I heard therapy. I heard therapy. I heard reconciliation. That's all I heard, B. I'll play those games.
Yeah.
Oh
man, yeah.
We're up against the clock, fellas. I appreciate y'all rocking with me on this kind of. So, for minds listeners, hold on, just real quick. So this was just like a freestyle, but we just want to do something a little bit different, just try some different shit. So we did that. I appreciate y'all rocking with us. It was fun. I had a good time. I don't know if they did, but I had a good time doing some different shit. So definitely appreciate that. But now we're up against the clock. Sammy, mirror time, King.
A little something from Gandhi. An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind.
Oh, shit.
And I'll leave y'all with that for mirror time.
That's pretty good. With that said, man, it's your boy Charlie Hustle, aka Charles Jones.
Hightower, aka Pellegrino Poppy, aka No Sweat.
I'm Sam Little, aka Better Go Get Tommy. Mr. Maritime.
And you already know, man, over in the smoking section, it's the chef main topic.
We out of here, man. We'll see y'all soon, man. Friday Night Live, y'all tune in for that. We got a good one lined
Get
up.
those
Yes,
shirts,
sir.
Get those shirts, baby. That merch. That white looking crispy there, cuz.
Oh, shit, it's so clean. It's so clean.
Yes.
Crispy over here, cuz. I'm telling you, man. I should do the button on with it.
Get yours.